Marion Donaldson was a Glaswegian fashion design and manufacturing company that was started by Marion and David Donaldson at their kitchen table in 1966, and it went on to become one of the most successful British fashion brands of the 20th century. Now, in some ways, Marion Donaldson was fairly typical of the 1960s fashion scene. Kitchen table entrepreneurship was common and youth was a hot commodity, and so many businesses were forged in the white heat of this fashion revolution, but very few of these survived beyond the 1970s. Marion Donaldson was different because where their peers crashed and burned, they stayed in business and profitable right up until 1999. Indeed, the company survived serious social, economic and political upheavals that saw the British fashion business go from being the pride of the world in the 1960s into a tailspin of decline and eventual deterioration by the end of the century. My thesis examines this decline by taking Marion Donaldson as its central case study. My sources are varied, as you can see on the slide. I use the private Marion Donaldson archive, which comprises some 80 garments, as well as marketing materials, press cuttings, and hundreds of photographs. And in addition to that, I've been really fortunate to have the opportunity to record the oral history of the company, interviewing both Marion and David and some of the men and women who worked for them. By using evidence from these sources, I've been able to identify the 4 key components of the post-war British fashion business that were crucial to the success of Marion Donaldson. These being good design, adequate manufacturing capacity, clever sales, and a thriving retail environment. Now, the existing history of 20th century fashion has rarely considered such tiresome practicalities. Instead, it has often been a history of illustrious names of elite fashion designers whose gorgeous clothes have only ever really been seen in the fantasy realms of the catwalk and the glossy magazine. My thesis scratches below this glossy surface to reveal something of the inner workings of the industry. It's the how of fashion. How were clothes designed? How were they manufactured? How did they get from the factory floor to the shop floor and from the shop to the wardrobe? And while accepted wisdom has placed London at the centre of British fashion, my thesis argues for a reappraisal of this by reinstating Glasgow as a centre of national significance. And I support this argument by emphasising the importance of companies like Marion Donaldson, whose clothes were designed and manufactured here in Glasgow, but purchased, worn and loved by women all across the United Kingdom and internationally. Finally, by recovering the history of Marion Donaldson and understanding more about how the fashion business worked in the past, I hope that my research will help support and galvanise entrepreneurship in the industry today. By giving aspiring designers a template for success, I really hope that my work will contribute something of value to efforts to revive the industry in the 21st century. Thank you.